The date is Monday, September 25th, year 2000. I am returning home, having just facilitated one of the best Sunday school teachers meetings I have had in a long time. As a wife, mother, Christian education director, Sunday school teacher, and first lady of the church all rolled into one, I finally feel that I am beginning to understand and master the challenges I face within my various roles in the ministry. I believe God's work is beginning to manifest itself. I walk alone from the church back to my home in the serene community in which I live. I am acutely aware of the beautiful, tranquil surroundings. It's a crisp autumn evening, and the night sky is filled with millions of twinkling stars. The full moon is shining brightly, and I can see the perfectly manicured lawns of my neighbors as I walk past their houses. I am energetic, upbeat, and jubilant. Life is good, and I'm happy to be alive. My mind drifts to my marriage. I hear footsteps behind me, and they pick up speed as they approach. Before we continue, hit that like button, subscribe, and connect where you're watching from. Your support helps keep this channel going, and it helps to reach people who need to see these episodes. My mind drifts back to my marriage. I hear the footsteps behind me, and they pick up speed as they approach. Terrified, I turn to see a man running down the once quiet street, headed straight for me. He is tall, dressed in black from head to toe, with a hood covering his face. He is also holding something in his hands that appears to be a revolver. Before I can scream for help, he is upon me, and I am paralyzed with fear. I can't move, and just as he closes in on me to pull the trigger, I manage to snatch the hood back from his face. To my shock and my horror, I recognize the muggler. In sheer astonishment, I realize that this attacker who is about to take my life is none other than my pastor, my husband. Before I can plead with him to spare my life, the gun goes off at point blank range. I feel the horrific impact of hot, angry metal as it rips and punctures my body, soul, and spirit. I double over in blinding pain and crumple to the grass. I am able to see the attacker out of the corner of my eye as he stands over me and glares in disgust. Silently, he turns, flees down the street, and disappears into the shadow of the night. I am utterly stunned. I am bewildered, bleeding, confused, screaming hysterically, and crying out in pain and disbelief. My mind is racing with a frantic of jumbled questions. What just happened? Was that really my husband who shot me? No, it couldn't be. And yet, I know without a doubt that it was my pastor husband. But why? Why would the man I loved and married want to shoot me? What did I ever do to provoke such an evil outburst? There must be some mistake. My mind slowly returns to the present, where I first began to daydream. This same daydream that is always reoccurring in my mind. There was no gunman. There was no bullet. No blood, no visible wounds, but still, my husband had meant to destroy me. Yes, he had. The setting may have been his pastor's study. The bullets may have been his toxic words, but my emotions are real. And it is exactly how I felt when I heard my husband and pastor of almost 22 years coldly say to me, "Our marriage is over. I don't love you anymore, and I'm getting a divorce." His cruel, toxic words were like bullets ripping me apart. Those harsh, poisonous words broke my heart, and something inside of me died that day. How could he do this to me? The very one who stood at the altar 22 years earlier and promised to love and cherish me till death do us part. That person is the very one who devastated me and tore me apart. I was his first lady. I was his partner in ministry. The wife who believed her husband would never stop loving her and her marriage would never end. It would last forever till death do us part. And now I'm devastated, shattered, nearly destroyed. Tell me, what do you do when your whole world suddenly explodes? What do you do when the tears refuse to stop? When you moan and groan in the agony of indescribable pain, pain that seemingly has no relief or remedy. Tell me, what do you do when the person who stood with you at the altar, the man who stood before God and promised to love and protect you, that man becomes the very person who breaks your heart? What do you do when the pastor everyone admires behind the pulpit becomes the husband who wounds you behind closed doors? These are the questions I had to ask. And they are the questions we will explore together. This is a story of domestic abuse. But this is not just one story, no. It is a journey. And over the coming episodes, I am going to take you through one of the darkest seasons of my life. I will honestly share with you what psychological abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, and narcissistic gaslighting did to my mind, my heart, my faith, and my confidence. I will tell you what I thought, what I felt, what I feared, what I believed, and how I slowly lost myself even without even realizing it. But this is not just a story about domestic abuse that ends in despair. Oh no. Because by the grace of God, I healed, I recovered, and I became the woman that God created me to be. Not a victim, but a victor. Through Jesus Christ, through my pain, my transformation, I discovered that God had not abandoned me, even when I could not feel His presence. Now, at the age of 86 and a half years old, years young, God is proving to me that it is never too late to recover and transform. God has patiently rebuilt what domestic abuse tried to destroy. God has restored my faith. He has renewed my mind. He gave me back my voice. He gave me back my life. He gave me a renewed purpose. And He transformed me from misery to ministry. And so, if you have ever been broken by abuse, if you have ever questioned your worth, if you have ever wondered whether you could be whole again, I invite you to realize that it is never too late to start again. I invite you to realize that you can become your best self. I invite you to walk this journey with me. Together, we will discover that healing is possible, freedom is possible, joy is possible. And with Jesus Christ, you can recover from the trauma and drama of domestic abuse. And what the enemy meant for evil, God can turn it for your good. If this episode moved you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who may need it. Visit my website, www.jnbministries.org. On my website, you will learn about my books, my courses, and my resources. I'm here to help others discover that there really is life After Trauma with Dr. Jan, helping you to take a stand and put an end to all the drama. Just think of me as your second mama. I'll see you the next time. And remember, as the Lord was with me, so he can be with you. God bless.